Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapring Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you. But as always, before we start, if you find this type of content enjoyable or interesting or maybe helpful, could you give me a like, share, and consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, today we have a WardMaster Ratchet from Montgomery Ward. And this is a round head ratchet, and this ratchet has an interesting family. If you remember my videos on the Indestro 3275 and the Wizard I84-4843 ratchets, these were all made by Indestro, but they were made. Some of them were made for different companies, though. The Wizard was made for Western Auto, and the WardMaster was made for Montgomery Ward. And Montgomery Ward also had this same ratchet under a different brand, which was Powercraft. So they had these under both their house brands, WardMaster and Powercraft. These here are the half-inch models, and the mechanisms are identical, except that you can see the Wizard has a kind of a flat handle and kind of a flatter profile also in the beam. You see how thick the Indestro is compared to the Wizard, but the heads and mechanisms, they're identical. They have the same patent numbers. Well, this one doesn't have it, but I've seen other ones that have the patent number on the anvil here, like this. And as we see here, this one, has the patent number. Okay, let's open this one up. Okay, the numbers for this one is, the model number down here is I84-4843R. And it's kind of a long item number for a ratchet. But it does have a hole. So in case you wanted to hang it up, there's a knurled handle. And as you see, it's 3/8 drive. Okay, let's attempt to open this one up. Okay. Here's a ring, kind of a snap ring, similar to what you see on SKs. And here's the head. This is a kind of a fine tooth ratchet. There's 52 teeth in this ratchet. There are the teeth, and these seem like they were kind of well machined pieces, like the mechanisms and the heads. You can see that it looks like there's several steps involved here in this machining of this of the head and the mechanism. See, they have a lip here, and it's no teeth, like maybe 1/8 of an inch from in the back here. Hold on. In the back here, it's flat, and then the teeth start here, and then they cut here, and they make the trench for the ring, for the retention ring here, and then they cut this part out for the tips of the ring. So it seems pretty well forged. And here's the cap for the switch. This looks like a cast piece. And there's the switch. Design looks like a tri-wing kind of sort of design. Here's the mechanism. A bit different than SK, even though it has the same swinging pawl as you see on SKs, but a different method of engagement for the switch. There's a spring that goes in the hole here, and there's a ball bearing on each end. This is a ball bearing also, and it was peened, so it's not going to come out, but this ball bearing, I guess, helps hold the switch. On the bottom here, there's a flat surface, kind of flat. Has like a little dimple there in the middle. I guess this helps, that ball bearing helps keep the switch in place temporarily, I guess. There's the ball bearing. And then it has a little protrusion here. And that's also for the switch. There's a hole here in the middle of the switch where the protrusion fits. And here, this is what engages the pawl post switch combination right here. That little protrusion fits in there, and when you switch the switch from side to side, it rocks the switch from side to side, and the ball bearing underneath the little post switch keeps it in place when it's rocking back and forth. And this is another well machined piece. You see it's the post also doubles, was cut to be a switch. Has two little protrusions on each side, and it's hollow here in the middle for the protrusion and the switch to fit in. And if you was to take this out, if you're brave enough to take this out, be careful, because I show how to take this mechanism apart. If you go back and look at my video for the Indestro, the 3275, I show how to take this mechanism totally apart, but that's the 1/2 inch model. This is the 3/8, and the parts are quite a bit smaller, so I would be careful taking a 3/8 or even smaller apart. I mean, you can do it. I did it with this one, but it's a hassle because the parts are smaller. So, but if you want to see the total teardown, go check out that video for the Indestro 3275. The mechanisms are exactly the same. They just, the sizes are different. You know, that's the 1/4 inch, of course, is going to be bigger mechanism than the 3/8. Okay, to get this back together, you just take the cap for the switch and you try to get that protrusion in the middle there, and you try to get it into the little slotted area between those two protrusions. And it's not that hard to do. Then you just switch it back and forth to make sure you got it in the right spot. And here's the tricky part. Okay, you drop this in. You kind of put your finger here in the back to hold the cap in as much as you can, and you press the pawl in a little bit to get it seated. Alright, now you take your ring, you push it out a little bit to get the ring seated around the trench, and you hold it kind of like that. Now you take your needle nose, and hopefully I'll have some luck. I'll be able to do this. Alright, there we go, I got lucky. Alright, now you test it out, you see if it's switching. Yep, this is switching. So, in conclusion, these are pretty well made ratchets. They are kind of like, you see a lot of good machining in these, a lot of fine machining, more than you would than cheaper round head ratchets, I would say. Like, you know, you see a lot of round heads, mostly they're bored straight through, and you can put the switch either way, it doesn't really matter. And the parts are not, they have kind of loose tolerances a lot of times, you know. Some of the better ones have better tolerances, but these were pretty fine round head ratchets, like at least comparable to like the SKs, at least as good or better than on that level of ratchet. But like I said, if you want to see the complete teardown, go check out my video on the Indestro 3275. Okay guys, until next time, bye.